The Auckland Council is at a crossroads tonight, and I guess that means the city is too, as hundreds of people watch an extraordinary meeting on the level of housing density the council wants to see. This will shape the city's future. A group of councillors wants to scrap arguments made in public in December for higher housing density in the city's Unitary Plan than previously agreed. So the Unitary Plan was always about density. This was upping the density. Onlookers have spilled out into an overflow room to watch on video what is set to turn into a marathon meeting. Auckland Issues correspondent Todd Niall is at the meeting and joins us now live. Todd, what is the atmosphere like there?
It's calmed down a little bit now because, we're 3 hours in almost to this meeting, and the public submission stage is over and a lot of supporters left at that point. But there's probably 100 people in the main council chamber at the moment listening to what is still part of the preamble for the meeting, which is the presentation of background material and information from council officers. But, this is a crucial meeting politically for the Auckland Council in this Unitary Plan process, and there's been some quite heated contributions and heckling from the back of the room.
Todd, can you tell us about the public submissions? Were they evenly divided? Did they strongly favour arguments for or against the Unitary Plan? What was the gist of them?
There were 8 slots available to groups and public submissions, and they were divided into 4 for and 4 against. And against is whether or not the council should withdraw its submissions to the Unitary Plan hearings panel. Those opposing the withdrawal submissions and urging the council to stay on track included, for example, Generation Zero, the young people's group, where the spokesman there, Sudhir Singh, basically talked about the need for whatever the council does to reflect the needs of all of Auckland and not just the property owners who, he said, risked pulling up the ladder behind them in trying to prevent further intensification of their suburbs. Those urging the council to withdraw the application basically included Richard Burton from the Auckland 2040 campaign, which ran that big public meeting in Kohimarama a week or so back, where 700 people turned out. Similarly, Don Stock from that Kohimarama Mission Bay residents group also urged the council to stay on track, saying that housing affordability wouldn't be advanced by making higher density housing in an expensive area like Mission Bay. So for and against there, and also submissions from some of the local boards.
Todd, for people outside of Auckland in particular, for whom the term Unitary Plan may not have terribly much meaning at all, why is this so important?
The plan is important because it basically sets the platform for the development and how Auckland will grow, the shape of Auckland, where the different types of housing will be for the next 30 years. So the plan itself is important. Politically, this process now is important because this whole Unitary Plan thing was set up by the government. The process, the time frame, the government is adamant that it wants this plan delivered on time by September and, in brackets, preferably with as much density and growth capacity as possible. If the council today in some way does something complicated that may disrupt the process of the Unitary Plan hearings panel, it's not clear what the consequences of that are going to be for the panel doing its work on time. The other risk which the council staff have been putting is if they can't play their A game, if you like, before the panel, they can't argue the case as it is now, then others who have views on higher or lower density will perhaps be heard more by the panel.
Todd, I know making predictions is a dangerous business in Auckland local body politics, but what do you suspect the outcome is going to be tonight?
Well, at the start of the day, my feeling was the raw numbers were that a majority did want to overturn the council going in on that position, but these meetings have an unusual way of people start to introduce compromise motions. They may have talked through some of these compromise motions with various councillors during the day. You may only need 2 or 3 nominally to shift from one side of the camp to the other, to change the outcome of the meeting. So, the boring old cliche, it's probably too close to call, but, you would imagine that someone will come up with something that will